My day consists of many different things, and I'm about to give y'all some game, right? Oh man, my computer dead. I probably can pull it up on my other phone. So this is what I did, right? So we developed a framework. It took me a while to develop this framework about personal branding. And I was going through my own personal branding, right? Where can I grow it? Because one of our key words here at the high level, man, is all about growth. I'm supposed to be in New York on the 1st, but it's all about growth, right? So there's a way that you can create a framework for your life to make sure that you always growing, and it's based on your hierarchy of needs. I'm not gonna go into that right now. That's what I usually go into when, if we sitting down and we doing a consult. But what I am gonna give you is different things that you need to do to focus on, to understand where your life is and where you need to grow at. So number one, what I had to write down was, what are my talents, right? What are the things that I'm naturally good at, that I enjoy, right? Things like public speaking, things like painting, things like innovation, right? Even music, right? Then you got your gifts. What are the things that are like gifts to you, right? And gifts and talents are different, right? So let me give you an example. Gifts are things that come to you by way of God. They not really explained. You can't pass down your gifts to other people. People can train, right, to become better at certain things, and they can become talented at it. But gifts are different. So visionary foresight, influential communication, creative capacity, leadership, intuition, right? Those are some of my highly regarded gifts. So when people ask me, what do I do? My life is not based on what do I do, it's based on who I am. And it's based on my talents, my gifts, my skills, my expertise, my mastery, and my traits. So as I break all of those different things down, then I get to decide what I want to do in life. Now, most people have not went that deep in themselves. So in their shallow understanding, right, they believe they are what they do because that's all they have to go by, right? So, a person may say, hey, I'm an accountant, right? Because that's what they went to school for. And that's the title that they use to tell everybody else, because that's the only way they can get people to care about who they are, because they don't have a personal brand. They don't have a reputation that's built upon who you are, the way your mind thinks and things of that nature. So then you go into your skills, and skills are things that you can develop over time, right? So my skills carry in multiple areas, but what I think about my skills is my strategic insights and my strategic planning. Those pink hats, man, you got to get in person right now. These are in LA. Strategic planning, content. Actually, you know what? DM me. I'm gonna have Steve send you one from the store. I mean, we gonna put it on the site, and then. But if you in LA, we actually gonna have it to where you can buy online, and then you can pick up in store. So your skills is my skills are rather. So is strategic planning. Yep, Maddie. I told Maddie a long time ago, bro. When I seen, that's another one of my skills, right? Is identifying other people's skill sets and like talents and gifts. And Maddie is somebody who's great at documenting. You feel me? And I remember when I met up with you that time in your Airbnb. You feel me? And you just talked about how you put together frameworks and things of that nature, right? And I'm like, bro, you got to document this. Like this your gift right here. Why? Because a lot of times we have things that we do that may become natural to us, so we don't think that big of them, right? But other people don't have them, and so they will be great to other people. And this is why it's important to go through a framework of understanding yourself, so you will know how to build a life based on the things that are valuable to the world. So anyway, my skills are strategic planning, content creation, so I put that under media, right? Personal branding, designing, foresight. So the skills, what I would do with the skill set is those are the things that I'm really good at, right? That I want to develop into expertise, right? So if those are things that Not things that are just talents that come to me natural. Those are things that I have to train, I have to study, hours of learning, hours of experimentation, right? Those are things that I've learned that I'm good at, and I've developed these skills. And skills are things that you can pass on to others, right? So identifying my skills was important, right? I'm great at designing, I'm great at foresight. And foresight, I look at that as like futurism, right? Understanding cycles, past, present, right, future. And that's why I talk about like technology and things of that nature a lot, because I can see cycles and paradigm shifts happening. Personal branding. So I focus on first building my personal brand, and I've helped multiple people build their personal brand over time. A lot of people that you all know. Content creation, of course, that goes through a natural understanding of marketing, right? A study of sales, study of neuroscience, right? A study of multiple phenomenologies that go into understanding how we're going to put this together. And then, of course, strategic planning. My brain thinks in patterns and strategies. So when we sit down with the team, we usually formulating a strategy. And that's something I had to study strategy over time. I've studied the greatest strategists throughout the world. And that's why I call them skills, because those are developed over time. So then we go into, you have your skills, but which one are you an expert, right? And you're an expert at something. Your skills can be passed down into like courses and things of that nature, right? That's where you get your knowledgepreneurship from, right? Where you are teaching based on what you know. You feel me? And then your expertise, you feel me? The things that you become an expert, that you have more knowledge on than other people, right? That other people that are experts in that field would give you a nod and acknowledgement based on you being in that field. So I put that first one, and I'm modest with this list. I put it under media production, right? Being able to produce a show, right? Like, which kind of goes under content strategy, right? Creating a podcast, all of that goes under media production, right? That's my expertise. So I can go to any place in the world with my expertise and it'll be valuable, right? And I can teach a whole master class on that, and I can speak on it for hours. Brand development, specifically brand development, but more personal brand development, but brand development period, right? I'm better at creating brands than I am at doing marketing, because brand first and then everything else falls in line. But again, that goes into studying, right? So there's a lot that I know about these things that I can teach about these things. And then futurism, right? So futurism for me is understanding trends, cycles, patterns, paradigms, which falls in line with my thought leadership, right? And that's where I go into technology and innovation, right? I'm able to see ahead of the curve. And that one is something that I like to teach as well, being a futurist. And then we go into mastery. So if you all been following, you got your talents, your gifts, your skills, your expertise. Now we go into mastery, right? Mastery, thought leadership. So any particular area that I pick up, right? My goal is to lead and to add something original to it through thought leadership, right? To give you the thoughts to lead you, so you don't have to do the thinking all the way yourself. That's what thought leadership is, leading you to the correct thoughts, in my opinion. But it go further, right? You can look at some of the thought leaders of the past, like Gandhi, right? Or like Aristotle, or, what's the Stoic brother? Marcus Aurelius, right? If you go into that sort of Eastern or Western Eastern thought process, you can go into, Sun Tzu, right? These were thought leaders in different fields, right? Public speaking. So public speaking, I have mastered the art of public speaking over years and years and years, put in them 10,000 hours, right? So I would just say communication, but public speaking is what I put under mastery. So when you get to mastery, like, these are things you want to build a community around: thought leadership, strategic influence, public speaking, right? Mental development. So, when it comes to mindset, developing the right mind, healing your mind and thinking with a growth mindset, we focus on mastery in those particular areas. And I can always increase this list, but I'd rather keep, and I think it's better to keep the list modest, right? So that you can have more focus in each area. And then it goes into like, what are your traits? And then there's more that goes into each one of these different categories that when you fill it out, you end up having this full file on yourself. And once you have this file on yourself, especially as we deal with things like technology and all of that, it gives you a compass at always knowing, right, where to go. And whether you're doing the right thing and you're doing things that are connected to who you are, or whether you're doing things because they're trends, right? If they're not connected to your gifts, your skills, your talents, right? And all of those things go eventually culminate into one's purpose. So for people that's out there looking for their purpose, I would say find your purpose through your gifts, your skills, and your talents, right? Things that you're good at, and things that make you feel good, that give you joy. Now I'm deleting this one. We probably gonna have this. We gonna have conversations like this and more, different tests that give you, full measurement itself. Comment high level, join high level, and you're gonna be able to get access to these type of frameworks, right? Because in high level, it's always gonna be about growth. 19 shares his vision, expertise, thoughts, and ideas on current events, finance, tech, spirituality, culture, media. My God. Yes, absolutely. And see, when I first was starting off doing it, I remember people was like, bro, just focus on one thing, but they didn't understand. So one of my gifts was, right, futurism. As I said, I understand, like, you got to see into the future. So I understood, and I shared this, and I got the video sharing this, right? Mr. Document, right? So I got the videos, and I was explaining how, as these algorithms increase, I was explaining about how AI increased. This was years and years ago, that everything is going to be automated. So I taught a class about automation in 2020, and I was explaining how everybody needs to build out their personal brand before things are so automated, and these algorithms, right, are going to be so personalized that it's going to be hard for you to get into someone's algorithm, right, as a suggestion. So when I thought about that, I said, if I build a personal brand now and I have to build it around all of my interests, not some of them, otherwise I will be stuck with what I do versus who I am. So if I build my brand based on, right, who I am, and I remember my first like mission statement was about enlightening the world. And even when I shared that with people and they would have like generic things, they would laugh at it. They ain't laugh at it in front of my face, but I can just tell their reaction by it, right? And so that to me let me know I was on the right path. I didn't want things that people easily understood. It had to be forward thinking. It had to be ahead of its time, because if people got it immediately, it's not ahead of its time, right? If it don't require no thinking, you like, oh, I get that. No, it got to require people to not accept it. The future is first not accepted, it's rejected. It's violently rejected first. So, I reverse engineer how things are accepted to understand which ideas, right, were ahead of their time. And what the thing is, when you have an idea that's ahead of your time, you have to be patient, because you will not your flowers will never arrive on time. I say it like that. When you're ahead of your time, your flowers never arrive on time. Sometimes they arrive when you die, all right? So you have to understand that timing, right? You got to pre-order your own flowers, because they definitely not going to arrive on time. So the goal was, how do we create a brand that's dynamic enough to where I can speak about all the things that I'm interested in? And once I understood that everybody should not be the same, because the problem is people try to create these brands and they look at what works for other people, but you don't know yourself well enough to create a brand that will work for you. So if I created my brand based on what other people were doing, I would have failed. Because I always want to talk about spirituality. I always want to talk about business. I always want to talk about technology. I might want to talk about UFOlogy, right? I want to talk about, my upbringing and where I come from. And you have to understand that people are different in their personalities and their traits. So I happen to have one of those type of minds that is polymathic, right? So my interests span in multiple areas. Sometimes I wish that my interests could just focus on one thing, because I feel like at certain point in times it just made it so much easier. Because it'd be funny when I hear somebody be like, "Keys, you money driven." I'm like, bro, if I wish I was sometimes. Because I be doing things that's really just feels right to me, that's based on impact, and we leave so much money on the table because it's not about the money. And money is something that you got to be intentional about when it comes to maximizing opportunities, right? So I'll give you an example. We did a 15 city tour globally. I didn't have no upsells. If anybody been to that tour, press 1 if you was on that tour. Did I go on that stage and sell you anything? I didn't go on that stage and sell a damn thing. I went out there every single night and we focused on maximizing the time we had to teach and make an impact. That was it. We focused on maximizing the time we had. I got this much time. How can I help change people's lives? Now, I had to think about that, right? Because so many people, peers, multiple people was like, all right, how you monetizing this? How you doing this, that, and the third? And I'm like, bro, this is about the impact. And they looking at me like I was crazy. They looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, you not about to get up there, right? You probably roughly gonna have, by the time you done with this thing, 15,000 people or something that you in front of, and you're not about to focus on selling them nothing? I'm like, nah, y'all don't understand. There's some things that's bigger. It's something that's bigger than that. Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. There's some things that I didn't even understand about it. And this is why I realized that when you got a lot of people who, especially entrepreneurs, who focus on impact, you can actually, there's a way that you can masterfully do both, right? But we have been taught that, if you focus on doing both, then it takes away from others. And it's just not true. But I'm glad I did it the way that I did it. I'm happy because so many people were inspired, and we changed a lot of lives throughout that tour. And I knew that it was bigger than focusing on trying to maximize money and things of that nature. But the way that I would teach somebody else to do it, to maximize theirs, is to focus on creating funnels, right, for in-person opportunities that funnels people to an even more impactful, right, connection. So let's say that you got 15,000 people, and it's just me being honest with y'all, right? You got 15,000 people, and you focus on funneling them into a community, right? You focus on funneling them into another opportunity so that you can stay connected with these people, so that you can now establish a deeper connection, because these are your core. This your core community. These are the people who really rock with you. They taking their time out of their day. So I really want to establish a deeper connection with everybody that was on the tour, right? And that's why we're doing the high level community and the high level club. And some of these things you learn a little later throughout the game. You feel me? But I learned that don't focus on your competition. Focus on your people. Focus on your customers, right? And now that we completely focus on community building, 100%, right? We completely focus on, like, let's create our own world with this, right? I'm focused on building relationships with people that have land, and then eventually getting our own land, and we putting together our own events that's just gonna be for private membership, to where we got our own world that we building. You feel me? I think about college and college. I think that it's a big. College can be a great opportunity for some, but it can be detrimental for others. For everybody, Robert Smith was the one who spoke upon the fact that college debt, right, is one of the single biggest wealth killers in the black community. College debt. And I think about what is one of the most valuable things of college, right? Of course, education, because there is a correlation between education. But the problem is, right now, there's a lot of outdated education, and those degrees, right, that you're going to get, that bachelor degree, ain't nobody going to hire you based on a degree. I hire people, and I've never thought about whether they had a degree or not. Never even came to mind. I've thought about whether you have the cultural understanding, context of what we're doing here, and whether you have coachability and the skill set, right, that I can help nourish to where you'll be a good fit. If you come with the skills already, solid. So what is one of the most valuable things that college has is networking opportunities, right? So the networking opportunity in college is invaluable, especially for younger people that do not have a network, and you need that. So that's why we say, how about we create our own campus to where people can establish those connections of people throughout different fields that don't want to go to college. So it's really providing an alternative, because you still need to be around achievers. You need to be around creators. You need to be around leaders. So now you are a part of a community, and you can establish a network with the right people who are on that same frequency that you're on. So that's where we start building out the foundation. We looked at a lot of the problems that consist in the world, and we say how we're going to go about building out this high level to solve a problem, right? And so being able to create that sort of like campus connection, I think is going to be key. And I think about all the things that I've wanted to, the skills that I wanted to harness in myself. One of the greatest leadership skills you can gather, of course, is emotional intelligence, but communication as well. So many people lack communication skills, and that's one of the single skills that can improve your life if you know how to communicate properly, right? And you know the proper handling of people. And there's a whole entire like lesson that you have to break down and go through to understand the proper handling of people. And once you learn that, right, you will be set to build your own empire. And so, you know, the skills, the talents, the gifts that are required for you to succeed in this world, and those patterns that successful people have, that's what we really going to, pass down, right, to those that are members. Now, another beautiful thing is that for the personal branding, we start thinking about like, taste is something that you can't pass down. I would say that. So this is why people go get like personal stylists, right? We hire designers and things of that nature. You can't pass down taste. You know what I'm saying? So we got something cool that we gonna do. So I have a few connections, and we have our own in-house tailor, right? That can create customized designs and outfits and things of that nature, and uniforms. And so one of it, we're going to have this tier where we're not only going to help you build your personal brand, right, but we're going to help you with your wardrobe and everything that goes into connection with it. So it's going to be real hands-on. So it ain't going to just be we teaching you, right? Identify what's the best colors for you, things that you should wear, right? And then, we go basically lay out a wardrobe for you so that you can wear in connection with your brand to help establish, right, that brand identity. It's going to be real fire. Like, my goal is not to create more influencers, it's to create more leaders. And that one going to be called the Good Influence Program. It's going to be really, 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 really satisfying. And I really look forward to that. This is going to be for very high level people. We have some that where some of the people that's on our team, right? I can't even say too much right now. I'm trying to think of a way to say it, but some of these partnerships, you have to have certain qualifications for it, right? Like you might have to own a house, you might have to own cars, you might have to own land, or different assets to qualify for it because of the perks that they come with. You feel me? So I'm looking forward to building out this world, this high level world, man. It's gonna be amazing. The coaching, the consultation, the helping people build their podcasts, helping people build their, personal brands, the book tribe. So we got the book tribe The book tribe is going to be dope. We're going to help create authors, right? But the book tribe, I'm going to tell you, it's a cheat code because when I go through books, it's like a whole lesson. So let's say we might be studying a book on branding, right? By the time we go through that book, you basically got a master class on branding, right? And so we're about to we're about to release the book tribe soon, and I'm looking forward to that one because I think it's going to help people rapidly increase their growth, right? And their education by being a part of the book tribe. And that's going to be our base level to be a part of. Because like knowledge is something that is imperative. If knowledge is the first foundational, right, value, if you don't have that and you're not a seeker of knowledge, then you should not be around us. We want people that are seekers of knowledge. So the book tribe is going to be pivotal into that. So, you know, you all stay tuned. We're going to be dropping that. Go into my community. I'm going to be dropping a link for the application. I just got this box. Let me show y'all real quick. The fam just got back. I just got this box. I'm going to be doing a review of this later because I was just thinking about, like, what are some of the things that I can review. And I think books and technology. Books, because I'll be reading a lot of books. And we're gonna have a book tribe anyway. So I'd rather give like a book review. You figure out what the format for that book review is gonna be. Huh?
You don't want to save that for the video.
Yeah, you say save it for the video. So this right here. Let's make sure it ain't had nothing. This right here. Sent to the P.O. box. If y'all want to have something sent to the P.O. box, let me know. So this is the new AI pen. I'm not going to open it yet. I'm going to wait till the camera is on. Then we're going to open it, set it up. This is the Humane pen. Interesting enough, well, this is probably the actual box right here. The AI pen. Interesting enough, there's been reviews on it. Not so good reviews, but I have my own spin. Because I think about things a little differently, and probably what they did right and what they did wrong. I can already know what they did wrong, but we're gonna go into this. So anyway, man, I appreciate y'all tapping in. I've been at the store. We've been learning today. We worked out today. We had meetings today. We're doing design today. We shoot content today. We're working on rolling out the high-level program. Working on creating more merch, setting up the store. I gotta go get me some dinner later on. You know, I had me a nice juice today. Some eating healthy type stuff right here. We're gonna start taking appointments for people to pull up to the shop for personal shopping experiences and setting up consultations. And those consultations will actually be, you had an opportunity to get those filmed as well because they will be turned into content. So it's gonna be really dope. I got to do a review for this. And then today I want to make sure that I have a shutdown time because I tend to work throughout the whole day. And so what I'm going to start doing is give myself maybe like 4 or 5 hour window blocks to where it's like work, and then just shut down. Because as I was talking with my brother Nuri Muhammad, the episode drops this Sunday, he was explaining how, you know, if you prime yourself to work at the optimum time, 4 hours of work, right, can be more powerful than a full day of work. So, you know, the goal is to not work all day, right? The goal is to do good work. So, DM me LA if you're trying to set up a private shopping experience to come up here, grab you a hat. What you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to order something online first. We're gonna make sure you get the free shipping, and we'll give you a discount code for the free shipping, and then you'll be able to pick up your item in store. And this is gonna be until we get the pop-up together, you feel me, fully ready to have our grand opening. But I thank y'all, I appreciate y'all. Peace to the family.